Hello and welcome to a Legacy video, and boy do we have a spicy one today. This list won the Legacy Challenge this past weekend, and it's out of left field. So, uh, in the Eternal Glory podcast this week, we talked about how with Underworld Breach gone, other cards from Theros Beyond Death could get a chance to shine, and right away, Dryad of the Ilysian Grove appeared and won the challenge. So basically, what this deck is trying to do is cast Prime Time and then win with its lands. So the win conditions are Field of the Dead and Valakut, the Molten Pinnacle. You also have a 6/6 if that goes undisputed. It can just win the game on its own. But it's a Wasteland deck. It's a Chalice of the Void deck. This looks a lot like the 4-color Loam decks throughout history, though this is just Jund. It's actually mono green, but you need to diversify the names of your lands in order to trigger Field of the Dead. So, but like, as far as casting the spells in this deck, this would work on just forests for the most part. We got Cavern of Souls to make sure our stuff actually happens. There's quite a range of creature types though, so Cavern it's a surgical tool. It's not a plan. We got an ooze, we got a nymph, we got a human scout, and we have a giant. And those are all the and there's a Naga cleric. Literally no overlap in creature types. So we're gonna have to pick our spots to make sure we want our creature to resolve. And then in the sideboard we have an oof. So this deck, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. We just gotta get our lands online and get them chunking, and then kill our opponent with lightning bolts or zombies. Let's go try this out. Alright, so we're on the draw, and we have a turn 1 Chalice, so I'm going to keep it. And beyond the turn 1 Chalice, this hand is going nowhere fast, but... Ooh. Surprise. Once upon a time. Alright, so... If I think they're a Delver deck, I'm going to want this Mazavith. But if there's some sort of like miracles or whatever, I'd rather have Cavern. I guess I should take the Maze to make sure I don't die, especially since Ancient Tomb is going to be my land this game. I have a bunch of other lands. Alright, I'll take the Maze. Alright, that's in. Polluted Delta, and then did not react when I cast Chalice of the Void. I wonder if this is a Storm deck. Ooh, bonus Chalice. Alright, I'll get my clock going here. Get that Chalice on 2 and play next turn, I guess. I should probably make sure I don't lose to that. I'm pretty sure Chalice on 2 is fine for me. Bayou Underground Sea. So they're some sort of bug. Alright, yeah, they're definitely some sort of fair bug deck at this point. Ooh, Chalice on 2, Chalice on 3? Alright, so I'm gonna fetch a snow island or snow forest here. That's a different name. For Field of the Dead when we get there. Ah, they had to force will that one. Alright. Good to know. So they either didn't have force when I went for the on 1, or they just didn't care. Oh, they have so many colors. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Troublesome. Let's see if they bounce or brainstorm. Yeah, definitely brainstorming is right. You can just hope that they mess up. That's always a reasonable plan. All right, Green Sun Zenith. Let's consult the deck list. I have Tireless Tracker and Dryad and Ramanap Excavator that I can get. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to want Tracker. I guess Excavator, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excavator guarantees that I have the mana for primetime next turn. Well, let's just put this on the stack. All right, resolved. So, and if I had a Wasteland in my graveyard, this game would be over. But unfortunately, I do not. So I can. I guess I shouldn't count on this creature still being in play next turn because of Jace. So I'll just get the tracker, start to work on this. So I can exile from their graveyard just in case they have like Gurmag Angler or something. Just tax their graveyard a little bit. I'm not doing anything else with that mana. Alright, now I wish I took Cavern of Souls earlier in the game. Definitely could have. If I had made a different choice with that Once Upon a Time, we could have jammed Primetime this turn. Had tons of different land names. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we would have been in Zombie Town. Yikes. Oh no, my 2 real spells. It left me with literally the worst 2 cards left in my hand. Alright, so guess I should draw a card. Alright, that's a reasonable thing to play. Teferi, yikes. That should hit Sylvan Library, I think. Yep. Drown in the Loch. I have 2 green mana, which is not enough to eat 6 cards out of my graveyard. Okay. It's been drowned right in the lock. Maybe I should have got the 3rd Chalice into play on 2 a lot sooner. Yeah, they're starting to get out of this. I basically need to draw and miraculously resolve Primeval Titan immediately. Gotcha. That card sucked anyway. Alright, so I'm gonna eat my Tireless Tracker, gain a little life, grow my ooze a little. And since they don't have the mana to snapcast anything right now, I'm gonna get rid of Abrupt Decay while I can. Or Ground on the Lock's probably more important. Tracker, huh? And I'm certainly playing it. So I could get fast and loose with my life total, or I could pad my life total a little, because I'm not super convinced that Scavenging Ooze is doing a whole lot here. I should probably be tapping my diamond also, since that's susceptible to more removal than a forest is, and I'm hellbent, like I'm not bluffing anything with my 5 colors of mana here. What would be really great if just over the next 2 draw steps we hit the Cabinet of Souls, Primeval Titan in that order. Uh-oh. My crown. Alright, there's a small sequencing error there. The opponent cast their spell and then activated Jace to Brainstorm. Like, if you're gonna do it anyway, just do it. Like, brainstorm first so you know all of the information you have to work with. Like, what if you're probably not going to draw something better than Oko, but what if you did, and then you don't have the mana to cast it? Oh, I have a Primeval Titan in my graveyard. I should probably eat that. No, I'll leave that in the graveyard in case I want to grow bigger than an elk. Ooh, interesting. This time I'll tap like I described last time. Is it time to go off? Am I getting drowned in the lock again? Getting clung to dust. Alright, Maze of Ith is exiled. Alright, I could have stopped them from drawing a card by eating that in response with Ooze. Maybe I should have done that. Though this is what I was after anyway. I think I want a forest just to be more stable against removal or whatever. And get rid of Cling to Dust. I could start attacking. I probably should have, because Jace and Teferi can both remove things right now. Yeah, I should have attacked to pressure there. Like, remove an attacker at least. Because if they can remove all 3 of these creatures and Elk their Strix, they can just win. I guess I can gain 1 life and go to 7 off Ooze still. They're gonna have to elk or remove Remnant Excavator, I think. Because these two together just draw a million cards. Eat Primeval Titan in response. Jeez, look at this mana base. If only I had found a wasteland. Alright, that's in my hand. Yeah, so they could like Snapcaster, Abrupt Decay, Elk this, put me to 1. Oh, yikes. I think I have to just let that happen. I could draw a card with a clue, try to mess up the math, but I would rather use my clue to try to hit Primeval Titan at this point. So they did the thing again where they activated all their planeswalkers before casting Ponder. So they didn't know what all their options were. Cavern, alright, Primeval Titan right now. Close. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bummer. Alright, so this is a 2/4 creature. I could have used Cavern to get it into play, but if they counter this, I think I lose anyway. Like, I need this Cavern to make sure Primetime resolves. Alright, yeah, I'm dead. I'm certainly willing to believe I messed up in a variety of ways that game. I mostly messed up by not drawing Wasteland, though. Like, we could have got them in the hooks. Yeah, but I should have gotten the Cavern off that first Once Upon a Time, and I think that was the entire game. I also should have been luckier against their Hymn to Turok that hit the 2 relevant spells out of my 4-card hand. Alright, so how do I sideboard here? So Drown in the Loch checks my graveyard, not theirs. They have Oko and Teferi, and I can't imagine their deck has Back to Basics in it. It probably doesn't have Blood Moon either, though it might in this Astrolabe world. Alright, so what am I cutting to make room for these Abrupt Decays? Maze of Ith actually would have been fine there. I think I want to leave my lands alone. So I am way out of my wheelhouse on these lands decks, these Life from the Loam Mox Diamond decks. This is not my style. So I'm making this up as I go. I think I might be able to like shave on some of this kind of stuff. I wonder if they're gonna bring in Graveyard Hate for me. Like, should I still have Loam in my deck? But I do only have one. And getting Wastelands looping against them would be a huge game. Alright, I'm just gonna keep it light. I think that these grindy blue control decks are exactly the decks that we should be beating anyway. It's just a matter of playing correctly. All right. This hand looks very good. I'm gonna keep it. All right, then I'll play Cavern on Chalice of the Void. Make sure this works. That doesn't actually work. That was a joke. Don't destroy me in the comments. We've done pretty good at having turn 1 Chalice, though. 2 for 2 on that one. All right, Force of Negation. If they have a discard spell, we are in some trouble. All right, they can't cast a discard spell off basic island, so I'll take that. They did not shuffle. Oh, right on time. So I could get this cavern into play named Giant and just cast Excavator. I think I want to do that. I was preparing for later. Because at some point it'll be my plan to like once upon a time end step into something sweet. I have Raminot plus Wasteland active right now. No, I don't. That's fine. All right, so I could. I'm just gonna Wasteland. Bang. First Wasteland of the match appears. And I can once upon a time in their end step. Probably looking for a land. Oh wow, they're Force of Willing that. Interesting. Bold. All right, so I'm pretty sure that I want Raminap Excavator. That has the highest upside if it stays in play a couple turns. Like with me being Hellbent, if I had like even one land in my hand, I think I would have got Tracker instead. But I have this Wasteland sitting in play and another one in the graveyard. So we could do some damage next turn. Bummer. That's mostly fine. I want to take them off black. Yeah, here we see the blue deck doing what blue does. They've cast a Ponder and 2 Brainstorms this game to my none of those things. Though they are Hellbent, so there's a lot of good draws for me. Alright, I guess I'll go get my ooze. I just have to hope they don't have something great right now. Because they're working through their stuff they put back off Brainstorm. And once I untap, this future Snapcasters are not so good anymore. There are no creatures in the graveyard. So I'm just going to hold my horses. If I attack into a Snapcaster, like just block mode. That would be really embarrassing. Huh. That was weird. They chose not to attack also. Alright, I'm gonna eat the relevant instance out of their deck. Ooh. Alright, there is one more Ramanep Excavator in my deck, and I can play Wasteland. Take them off white. Yeah, if we untap again, I think we're just doing it. Alright, so I'm pretty sure I want to save. No, that I want to cast the Once Upon a Time. Because a lot of my creatures are 3-drops, and I'm at 3 mana. I think I just want Field of the Dead, though. Attacking still seems bad. Like, winning the game by attacking for 2 is not my plan with creatures. It's attacking for many 2s with Field of the Dead. Bummer. Okay, we're back on slow mode. Tapping out is pretty free. I don't know what they're going to do with 1 island. I guess I can attack now. My life total's a lot bigger, and I can make a 3/3. So now the clock is ticking. Like 2 more land drops, and we'll be making zombies. Making zombies. Alright, the race is on. I could also just draw Primeval Titan and go off at any point. I don't think I care about these random spells in their graveyard, but just in case I do. Alright, so I'm gonna leave that in play. Alright, so does attacking Oko do anything? No. So I need to leave my ooze back just to keep the Snapcaster from getting super rowdy. So I attack for 3, they attack for 5. Oh, they just traded. Shit. Okay. I was not thinking about that. I just clicked through it. I probably would have exiled their Inquisition if I thought about it, but whatever. The trade is tight. Alright, so I need to draw just a land with a different name. Or Primeval Titan. Or Green Sun Zenith. Or Light from the Loam. Oh, Ryoko. That seemed pretty aggressive. Hello, Zenith. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so I do have to crack here and hope I don't get spell pierced. All right, first Primeval Titan of the league is here. Yes, I would like to do that. Okay, so I have, let's get this box out of the way of the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different names. So I can get I can get Valakut and the other Field of the Dead and make 4 zombies. All right, hopefully this is going to be difficult to overcome for my opponent. They can turn Primetime into an elk right away, but now every land I draw is going to make 2 zombies. With them at 11. Yeah, so last game all their little value creatures and Oko looked really good, but once Field of the Dead is online, everything looks embarrassing. Yeah, fetch land is about the sickest thing you could draw. Uh, all creatures attack my opponent. Yeah, now we're just an unrelenting zombie horde. They'll be able to gain some life off Scavenging Ooze, but I don't think it's going to matter a whole lot. I can fetch in the end step again to get 2 more zombies and a Dryad Arbor. And with the Valakut in play, Dryad becomes a lightning bolt machine. All right, they're doing their darndest. All right, they are just elking this time. All right, so they have 2 pretty big creatures here. I can, ooh, that was bold. Do I just block this thing? So there's no creatures in the graveyard. All right, so I get attack with 6 zombies next turn. They can block 2 of them. And they die. If they have abrupt decay for one of the zombies, they can win instead. If I quadruple block this thing right now, they'd have to kill 2 zombies to save their ooze, and then every land is just great for me. I think this is worth doing. Like, my creatures are infinitely replaceable, and this is the best thing he's got going on by a lot. It also removes ooze from play, so if I do draw life from the loam, I can actually use it. This long pause, I hope, is them realizing they've messed up. Oh wow, it just didn't even have a trick. Just straight up traded 2 zombies for that 5/5 ooze. Love it. Just limited magic here, folks. All of these attack my opponent. So they're going to go to 3, they're going to eat a zombie and trade with 1 from their death touch thing, and then I'm going to get 2 more zombies. The inexorable horde continues. World War Z. Oh, they had an abrupt decay. It just didn't matter. Last turn in combat. So they're going to have 2 3/3s, which actually does pretty well slow down what I've got going on. All right, so they're brainstorming. That's fine. I should probably just gain my 3 life off this food so I can F6, but it doesn't really matter. I'm at a lot of life. Let's draw another Primeval Titan, come on. They chose to shuffle. Oh, they made a food instead of a 3/3. Interesting. Another fetch land, that's 4 more zombies. Alright, so let's math this out. So if I attack here, I'll put them to 3, trade with Snapcaster, and I'll have 1 zombie left. Then I'll make 5 zombies, they can block 2, take 6. Okay, I think that's actually fine. The other option is just like waiting a turn and attacking with 7 zombies next turn. Oh, what do they got for 1 man? Oh, Swords to Plowshares, okay. Astrolabe. It's a tricksy devil. I'm gonna gain 3 life right now. Show him who's boss. Plague Engineer. Oh, zombies are little now. There are 2 abrupt decays in my deck. If they get a second Plague Engineer, that's actually devastating. So I think I'm actually not gonna crack Windswept Teeth because I don't have attacks anyway. I think that was my last forest. Maybe I should have cracked Windswept Teeth. Uh-oh. Cling to Dust is active now. It was on gain 3 life mode instead of draw a card mode though, so I like that. This costs 4 to escape. Ooh, that's a good card. Alright, so we need to draw a real spell again suddenly. I think I'm out of forest, let me check. Yeah, there's the Bayou, the 3 basics, and the Dryad Arbor. So this Windswept Heath doesn't do anything. So I can attack for 5. Maybe I should be holding lands back, though they showed me him to Turok, so maybe not. Like I would be holding lands back for Valakut, like so I could start lightning bolting if I draw a Dryad. Uh-oh, now we're dead. Wow, they really grinded their way back into this, and now I'm in a ton of trouble. Well played, opponent. I'm trying to think of if I could have done anything different earlier on. I mean, there was the turn I played Field of the Dead when I could have played one more land on my graveyard. Hmm. Yeah, I'm really surprised that we're losing this game, but I don't know what to do about it. All right, we needed that like 35 turns ago. Uh, so what can I even do with it? I can get Dryad or Prime Time. Tracker doesn't even do anything. Like this being left with nothing, like just drawing our last forest was really unfortunate also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we're very dead. Yeah, we're just dead. Well played, opponent. I'm impressed. Yeah, like maybe I'm not setting things up right. Like maybe there was a way to like get Dryad and set up for like, am I supposed to be winning all in one turn? I don't think so. I think we just, I mean, what's really happening is that they're a blue deck and we're not. Like on those turns where we're both just sort of drawing and passing and not a whole lot's going on, they have Brainstorm and Ponder, and we have Verdant Catacombs. And they got a lot of value out of their Snapcaster mages also. Though I don't know if I should have brought in Leyline of the Void. Probably should have brought in Bajuka Bog. Alright, next match. I would like to play first. Alright, I'm gonna keep. This one doesn't have a turn 1 Chalice yet. This Once Upon a Time could find Ancient Tomb. Alright, it did not find Ancient Tomb. I found Ramanab Excavator though. I'm into that. I'm gonna play my forest. I don't want to just get wrecked by their wasteland if I just run out my Field of the Dead. It's cool that we have 2 chalices though, so a discard spell is not gonna clear the way. I really hope I draw Mox, because if I can like Wasteland and Chalice, that would be so messed up. I think I'm supposed to Chalice though, like if I had to choose between the two. Though the whole Wasteland or Wasteable Land cantrip go business does make me want to just crack this off. So that's an interesting draw because That lets me Chalice now, and then Wasteland plus spell next turn. Yeah, I think this is a scarier thing also. Like, unless they have literally no lands, but they did not shuffle their library, so they must have another land drop. And in case they're like Storm, Storm wouldn't care about a Wasteland necessarily. Maybe not as much as they would care about Chalice of the Void. Alright, opponent's deep in the tank. So the other thing to think about is, do I play one on 0 also? If this one resolves, do I play one on 0? Because if they force it, then they're a deck that doesn't care about zeros. Alright, Force of Negation is definitely a deck that doesn't care about zeros. Maybe I'm just supposed to be blind zeroing chalices when when I'm on the play with two of them. That might be a pro play. If you're a chalice expert, let me know in the chat. Alright, Reponder. Oh, they pitched a Brainstorm to Force of Negation, so that was pretty good. I hope I don't get comboed out this turn. I don't know what combo deck plays Force of Negation. Probably none. This is almost certainly a fair blue deck. Oh, you want to get nasty. I'll play it in your world. Dang. We can come back to this Chalice of the Void conversation next turn. Yeah, they're a Delver deck. Alright, maybe we're not coming back to Chalice of the Void. Oh, this is Gurmag Angler. That's bad news. That's real bad news. Wow. Alright, time to draw Maze of Ith. Can't daze this, friend. Yeah, Gurmag Angler is the most horrific thing that could ever happen to us there. That's such a good card. Alright, Force Pitching Oko. Alright, we are against classic Bug Delver. And we're dead in 4 turns. I'm going for Chalice again. I just want to constrict their options for when I do end up playing cards. So if they don't have a second Oko, Jesus. Alright, they did not. Alright, the thing I can get for 2 is already in my hand. Pretty sure I have to Ramanap here. Alright, so I'm gonna take a hit, go to 5, and then play another land out of my graveyard. I'm just trying to get up to Primeval Titan here. Okay, they Replicate that instead of my blocker. I like that. Unless now they're also killing my blocker. Shit. Fatal Push. Nice. Alright, I'm in lots of trouble. Okay, so I can play this creature and Zenith for 0 to get Dryad Arbor. I'm gonna chump with Ooze this turn and just pray I draw Cavern of Souls. Ugh. It's not getting better, team. Guess I should have tapped Field of the Dead. Like, there's no reason not to. Well, I drew Cavern of Souls. I guess that's fine. So Cavern, and then Cavern on Giant. Loamback Bayou. And hope they don't have a removal spell. Alright, don't have a removal spell, please. Oh my god, are we doing it? We're doing it, team. Alright, and we're in Zombie Town with our 6/6. Cavern of Souls. Oh my god. This is so exciting. Let's chugga 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 chugga. Prime time. Stifle would be like a little bit annoying, but we still just have the biggest creature in play. Alright, opponent's deep in the tank thinking about where this game went wrong. The fact they played out their 5th land makes me think that this card is Force of Will. Or else they would have kept it back for a Brainstorm. Alright, so I want to get... Alright, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different names. I want to get the other field and a fetch land. Because fetch land can represent another land drop. Or am I out of forests? Nope. There's 1 forest left in my deck. Maybe I should just get Maze of Ith, play it safe. Alright, and they packed it up. Nice. I didn't think we were winning that one, but that was hot. Okay, so we're playing against a Delver strategy. Ooze, pretty good. I don't want Leyline. I probably do want Bajoka Bog. Unfortunately. And some number of decays. So, one less Once Upon a Time. Are there any lands here that aren't that good? Like, Valakut is pretty weird, because like, it seems like a lot of work to set up Dryad plus Valakut. Like, it seems like Field of the Dead is just the play. Oh, I'm not sure, honestly. Alright, I'm gonna slim down on that plan. So I don't think we need it. I probably want all 3 decays against an actual Delver deck. What do I not want any more of? Yeah, it's tough to balance because like Mox Diamond seems pretty cuttable, like having 1 less of those. Like I don't want to cut any of my more of my payoffs. But also getting ahead on mana against the Delver deck is a huge deal. I'm gonna do it like this. Tell me in the comments why I'm wrong. Well, here's a pretty awkward hand. Despite boarding out a Mox Diamond, we still drew 2 of them in a 1-land hand. can't even argue that it's a turn 1 Chalice and hope for the best. Like, I think I just have to ship this. Alright, I'll keep this. It's rock solid. I don't really want to bottom a land, but that is the thing I have in plentiful supply, at least compared to my payoffs, which I have many in this hand. Alright, Delver. Playing a Delver game. Alright, I guess I Mox Diamond here. Please force a will it. Please force a will it. Shit. I'm gonna start with the Chalice first. Alright, yeah, let's hope they aren't super heads up enough to Abrupt Decay my Mox Diamond. I think if they have Abrupt Decay, they're gonna hit Chalice, but yikes, if they hit that Diamond, I'm in trouble. Alright, now they definitely know that Diamond is a juicy target because I missed my land drop. It looks like they just don't have anything. Alright, Delver has not flipped yet. Alright, that's shuffled away. So we don't know anything about that one yet. Maybe they just kept like a triple Delver, cantrip, spell pierce hand, hoping that I wouldn't have turn 1 Chalice. Which totally happens. That's not an outrageous thing. Alright, let's just find like 3 lands here. Nope. Alright, put on top. I don't really want to pay 4 life versus a Delver deck. Though I might have to get things moving forward. No, I'm going to put this on top also. So I could start with Excavator or start with Dryad. I think I'm going to start with Dryad. All right, that resolved very quickly. I think they are on the mono 1-drops hand over there. Uh-oh, shit. Now they can take their pick. Based on how they've played this game so far, I imagine they have to hit the Chalice. Yes, confirmed. Oh no, do you Fatal Push? Oh, Thoughtseize. That's fine. Because Ramen Excavator is also on top of my deck. Like, the best thing that I can do is find a land. Oh, sweet. They just, no respect at all. I really want to find a land, the 3rd card down off my Sylvan library, and then I can wasteland them twice this turn. Alright. Top. Alright, so here's what's happening. I'm playing this. I'm gonna get the Snow Forest. And I'm gonna get the Bayou. I guess I didn't have to do that because Dryad lets me tap everything for anything. And we're back in the Chalice business. Alright, now I just have to figure out how to win in the next 4 turns or remove Delver. Alright, Wasteland is pretty mediocre against Raminep Excavator. Let's find an Abrupt Decay. I think if we can remove this Delver, we're just gonna win. Wasting me. Alright. I'll float green. At the very least, I can cast this Once Upon a Time. Alright, put on top and put on top. I'll take Cavern of Souls. And then waste, waste, waste. Alright, I'm all in. We need a Abrupt Decay. Or Maze of Ith, also fine. Let's make sure this card doesn't have reach. It does not. Okay, can I prime time this turn? Alright. Put you on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I cannot prime time this turn. There's no dead. There's one dead creature, so I could ooze this turn. Does that do anything? Or is there anything better I can Zenith for? Negative. Alright, so I think I have to put prime time on top. And then get ooze. Yeah, so they could force this. This is basically buying me one extra turn because I can go to 7 by eating the Tireless Tracker with ooze. And I'm attacking for 4 and then 7. So it's also lethal. Alright, so this buys me one extra turn and it kills them, which are both desirable things. They have so many cards in their graveyard that I can't stop them from Gurmagging. So I'm not even gonna try. Alright, and then we got there. Nice. That was a sweet match. In match 1, I was sure we could never lose, and then we did. And in match 2, I was sure we could never win, and then we did. So this deck is full of surprises. Alright, so we're on the draw here. We have turn 1 Chalice. Turn 1, 2 Chalices if we want them. No green source yet, but I'm gonna have faith. I have Maze of Ith to buy some time, Wasteland to mess with them. This is a pretty good Mishra's Workshop hand. Just gotta see what they're up to now. I kind of hope they just like Thoughtseize me on turn 1, because the double Chalice makes it pretty hard for Thoughtseize to collapse this hand. I can't even cast this card yet, so if they take this, whatever. Alright, so we got a Volcanic Island Go out of our opponent. Caracas was a good draw against Volcanic Island Go. Is there probably Delver or some sort of Show and Tell pile or a Storm? So having Chalice plus Caracas checks a lot of boxes there. Okay, so they appear to be a Delver deck. Ancient Tomb's not really where you want to be against the Delver deck, but Maze of Ith plus Chalice of the Void's pretty good. Alright, yeah, and if they want to wasteland me straight into Chalice, I'll play that game. Let's get ugly. Oh, Mox Diamond is a nice one here. So this Raminep Excavator, I don't want this to get dazed, so I'm gonna play Ancient Tomb first. Then I'll play Mox Diamond. I'm gonna discard Maze of Ith. Oh, I should have done this differently. I don't want anything to get dazed, so I'm just gonna pass. If they have Wasteland, they got me. Yeah, I'd rather just like hang this out against a Wasteland for a turn. That's fine. Than play into Daze. Like I can just be patient here. Because every time they waste me, it keeps them under the Chalice for another turn. Yeah, go nuts, man. Okay, they finally figured out that they probably need to cast a spell. Alright, Dreadhorde Arcanist. Alright, so we can play Forest. We can play backup Chalice. I don't know how important that is. These decks generally can't answer the first one. They might have like a Brazen Borrower or two. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep passing here. I mean, they could waste this turn, but like they can't flashback this Lightning Bolt with Arcanist because it was countered, so they're just attacking for one. Nope. There it is, the Brazen Borrower. I hope I don't lose right now. Alright, cool. They are gonna get that Lightning Bolt off though, unfortunately. Oh, they're gonna get the Thoughtseize off. That's even better. Alright, my opponent's playing very well. Better than I mapped it out. So if I had played that second Chalice, this whole turn would not be possible. And now they're out from under the Chalice. Now this is kind of awkward because to play around Daze means I don't get to play a land out of my graveyard and my thing will get bolted immediately. With no value, but I have to play it into Daze to get the value. Or I could just wait a turn. But then they have Wasteland, so that's not a solution either. But they have the Wasteland for the Maze of Ith anyway. Maybe I just have to hold my horses. Or maybe I can force the play. Like I'll just get this thing into play and they can bolt it. But at least that stops them from going face. And with the Brazen Borrower, they could kill me pretty quickly here. Yeah, not playing the second Chalice really fucked up this whole game for me. Should have done it. Yeah, like I said, can you tell I'm not a Chalice of the Void player? Wow, and they've drawn all 4 Wastelands. What a world. Now they get to Brazen Borrower also. Totally my fault here. So what can I draw that could be helpful? And I'm under a pretty serious clock. This Tireless Tracker is probably one of my best draws. They did not shuffle the last Ponder. Sylvan Library, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, yeah, I'm just dead here. Yeah, I fucked that up. I said out loud exactly how I could lose and then decided not to play around it. Don't do that. That's dumb. That's what I just did. Be smarter than me. Alright, so I think a similar thing to what I did last game makes some sense. Maybe Zenith is worse than cutting actual Dryad. Because actual Dryad I can cast on 3 and it doesn't get spell pierced, but Zenith costs a mana more than everything else. Maybe I like that. I mean, most of their creatures are flying, so that's not even the best, but I'm doing it like this. Or, yeah, this deck is likely to have Blood Moon out of the sideboard, so I mean, I have the decays. Not sure I want the grip also. But yeah, here's the deck I'm presenting. Alright, I will keep this hand. Oh wait, no, they were Grixis, not blue-red. They're not gonna have Blood Moon. So now I have the dangerous life to live here of do I fetch the Bayou so I can cast Abrupt Decay? Or do I fetch a basic to make sure I can play the game? Alright, I have Life from the Loam. I can buy back my... Yeah, I can get back my fetch land, so I'll take my time on the Abrupt Decays. Alright, so I can Wasteland plus Loam back Wasteland and Catacombs this turn. Young P. Ruh-roh. Hope they don't have days. That would set me back pretty far. Shit. Alright, they had it. I could have played around the days by just not wasting them, or at least well played. Or I guess they're just spewing into Chalice to get more 1/1s. That makes sense. Yeah, I should have loamed first, probably. Please don't have another days. Alright, so all of that was pretty horrifying. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna take 6 here. Gonna Abrupt Decay, Young Pyromancer, and then cast Ooze as a blocker for the tokens. If they have Gurmag Angler, this is gonna get really gross. Alright, that's not Gurmag Angler. Dreadhorde Arcanist. Alright, so I'm gonna get the Bayou. Abrupt Decay the Pyromancer. I'm gonna name Ooze because this has to happen. Alright, so if they don't have Brazen Borrower immediately to bounce my Ooze, I think I'm gonna be okay. And they did. Oh, that's so much worse. Alright, am I just dead? Because they can bolt this. Oh yeah, I'm just dead. Wow. Alright, my opponent played very well. The turn where I wasted before I loamed, I got greedy. I should have left the wasteland untapped to just loam back the catacombs, because that would have at least locked in Abrupt Decay for the next turn. Yeah, I got greedy that game and punished as a result. Alright, so we're on the draw here with a bit of a clunker. I'm gonna keep this on the strength of double wasteland. Oh, punished. Alright, double wasteland looks pretty bad right now. But this hand was probably a mulligan. I am so bad at playing these Mox Diamond decks. Like, I just have no reps with these historically, which has probably become evident in our games so far. But let's see, like, if they are a blue control deck, like a slow and steady, hit your land drops, Cavern of Souls hand might be exactly what I'm looking for. If they are a combo deck, though, we are very, very, very dead. Alright. This could be the Omnitel deck. So I'm gonna Cavern on Nymph next turn. Alright, I'm actually gonna fetch now because I'm good on lands. Let's draw some spells. Alright, Cavern on Nymph. And I can play this Wasteland. And I don't even think I want Mox Diamond anymore. I'm playing 2 lands per turn. My mana is where it needs to be. I'm expecting an Ice Fang Coatl here. Oh, so much worse. We are playing against the Show and Tell deck, and we are completely dead. You can have Show and Tell, I guess. Good. What do we even do against this deck? I guess we're bringing Crows and Grip, and that's about it, and hope for the best. All right, so they have a Show and Tell. They're brainstorming, I guess, looking for the payoff. So you're saying there's a chance or something. Probably not. Staying above 15 life is going to be important here. Ooh, Chalice. Can I get up to 6 mana this turn? No, because this is not... Oh, wait. Yes. Kind of awkward because my hand is full of 3-drops, but if this works, it's going to be insane. Yeah, it was never going to work. But you had to try. Oh god, I just played right into Coatl. That's alright. I have replacements for those. So they brainstormed last turn and did not shuffle, so they just had to use Coatl and their draw step to work back through those same cards. Uh-oh. Alright, they found the fetch land, which they didn't have last turn. They also didn't have a payoff last turn, but it looks like they're just going for it anyway. Grizzlerino. Huh. Perhaps I should have put this in, because this is uncounterable anyway. Live and learn. Yeah, if this gets countered when I could have just Maze of Ift, ugh. Yeah, alright. More mistakes, and I'm dead here. Yeah, so you're watching the learning process in action here. This is something of a disaster. So I have punted in 2 of our losses so far. Like, what can I even do against this deck? I bring in Crows and Grip to try to snipe the Omniscience, and I have the Karakas in the main deck. But that's like all I got. Like, Oof doesn't do anything, Decay doesn't do anything. Pajuka Bog, like, Mindbreak Trap, just hope that they... I guess if I have Dryad in play and 4 mana, I could just cast Mindbreak Trap. But the whole thing about Show and Tell is that they cast... I guess Omniscience is a little different because they Show and Tell, they put in the Omniscience, they Cunning Wish for something, that's 3 spells. So maybe we're in a different kind of equation here. I don't think Life from the Loam is going to help me. Excavator's pretty slow. Zenith is even slower. I guess I just have to try this. This is ugly though. It's clearly not a great sideboard plan for this matchup. Chalice of the Void's pretty good against them though. Like even just on 1 can stunt their development pretty bad. And the only counter spells the blue-green Omniscience deck plays is Force of Will. So it's going to cost them 2 cards to deal with this Chalice. Unless they have some different technology. Alright, we're in there. Step 1. Whoa, they do have different technology. Alright, now we have to beat a Tarmogoyf. I think I can beat a Tarmogoyf. I kind of love the Tarmogoyf tech out of this deck, though. I ran a league with this deck on the channel earlier this week, so check it out if you haven't yet. But yeah, Tarmogoyf is nice. The lack of a backup plan really bothered me, and Tarmogoyf's a good one. I think drawing 2 cards is more important than casting Raminep Excavator this turn. Or drawing 1 card and casting Once Upon a Time. Impulse, sure. Because I can get bigger than this Tarmogoyf. They're going to have to put 2 new card types in the graveyard to get bigger than Tireless Tracker if I draw 2. So they could also just cast Show and Tell at any time. It's terrifying. Shit. So I could Once Upon a Time in response. I probably should do that. Cool. Just what I was looking for. Alright. That's gonna happen. Guess I'll put Dryad Arbor into play. So that's 1 spell. 2. Although that one is a nightmare. 3. Alright, so this is on 4. Though I'm sure it doesn't matter because they had Grizzlebrand. The deck usually only plays 1 of these, so having it was kind of shitty. Good thing I have my Mind Break Trap, though. We're gonna get him real good. I could have drawn another card in response to the Show and Tell with Tracker. Just try to find Caracas. Though that doesn't matter because they have Omniscience. Nothing matters. It's all irrelevant. You can have Cunning Wish, I guess, even though they all kill me. There's the shared summons. Alright, I'll draw a card with my clue, see what happens. Which of their 1,000 counterspells in their hand would they like to use? Alright, that worked, but it doesn't matter. They could just pay 7 and cast Emrakul anyway. Alright, I'm F6'd. Show me what you got, Firemind's Foresight. So we are seeing in action what it's like to be a lands deck versus Show and Tell. Yeah, I wonder if you just have to ignore this matchup, because, like, what can you even do? You'd have to fill your deck with, like, sphere effects, like Thorn of Amethyst, etc. You can have the Drawn from Dreams. Alright. You all don't have to watch this. Alright. So, crushed by a combo deck. So, I don't think we can ever win that match. I punted this match, and this match, the opponent played very well and cast cantrips when we didn't. So, definitely one match that I could have played better here. I'm not sure what's going on with this one. Though, in game one of this match, if I had put in Excavator instead of Dryad, I could have played Maze of Ith from my graveyard, and then they would have had to at least like pass the turn with their Grizzlebrand and then like draw 14 and then kill me. So I don't think like it was definitely a mistake, but I'm not sure that it was a game-ending mistake. The game-ending mistake was queuing up with a lands deck against Show and Tell. All right, we're here for the final round 5 grudge match to salvage our 50 play points. We have a turn 1 chalice, so I'm going to keep it. No green mana, but that'll fix itself later. Are we playing against... Oh, okay. I was like, are we playing against Burn? No, it's just any deck with an Astrolabe. Oh. Is this a Painter deck? What's happening? If they do jam Painter Servant right now, that's actually fine because Chalice of the Void's really good against them. Alright, pass the turn. Shit. Alright. Goblin Welder changes everything. That was the one card I was worried about. Imagine if we went first, though. They wouldn't be able to cast that Astrolabe, which wouldn't have turned on Mox Opal, and they couldn't cast the Welder or Emery. So, play draw magic. There's a good chance that this opponent has Blood Moon in their main deck. Ensnaring Bridge. Alright, I don't care about that. Alright, so we have Chalice on 1. Alright, that's good. Now we can Chalice on other numbers too, and it also gives us green mana. That's the important part. So so I can play Wasteland, play Mox Diamond, discard Maze of Ith. Summon my Dryad, and we actually have Dryad Valakut for the first time in our lives. I'm gonna waste them. Because that's gonna be important, I believe. Gotta be careful not to put any artifacts in my graveyard, because then they can start welding my artifacts into different ones. Alright, what's the plan here? Okay, they're just getting a land. Alright, I can waste that. With Raminep Excavator plus Dryad, I have a lot of opportunity to constrict what they're doing. I guess I can't really waste this with Welder in play, because they'll just switch it for something different. And they can like flip things into Astrolabes and draw cards with the Welder. I think getting Chalice on 2 into play is going to be my priority this turn. Oh no, what is this? Do they have like Tezzeret or something? Alright. That's in the graveyard. Chalice already doing its work. Alright. Ooh, good draw. Alright, so what am I going to do here? If I play Reminep Excavator, I can Wasteland them and still cast Sylvan Library. I'm going to do that. Wasting them isn't hugely effective, but it's not nothing either. Alright, this is a good finale to this league. Whichever way this goes, it's gonna be weird. And I'm into it. Yeah, so this just taps a draw card now. That's pretty nice. I don't think I have any main deck removal for that thing. Nope. I needed them to just not have it turn one. Collector Oof finally gonna show up in a match though. This Lion's Eye Diamond means we could be dead at any moment. Uh, Awkward. Put on top, and I'll keep one of these. Alright, so green, colorless. Take that. Green. Wasteland, Verdant Catacombs, Dryad of the Ilysian Grove. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't actually want to Caracas Emery because them spewing extra options into their graveyard every turn is bad for me. So I'll just grab Verdant Catacombs. A fetch land to go with this combo is pretty nice. That'll start hitting land drops pretty quickly. All of my forests are still in my deck. I could, let's see, did I learn anything? Should I get this redundant chalice into play? I think that I do want this. All right, here we go. We both are just like clinging to this pretty miserable game with our value creatures that we have in play and no hand to work with. This Valakut picking off Goblin Welder, I think, will win the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so next turn I can start Valakuting. If I get a next turn. If this Emery doesn't kill me right now. They found Grindstone. We just have to hope they don't have Painter. Though the Welder's tapped, so nice, well played. That one was definitely a punt. There's no reason to put. I guess Ensnaring Bridge. There's a reason to not put that in your graveyard, or not want it in your hand at least. But Valakut is active this turn. I'm gonna get a ton of triggers off it, so this game should be over. Put on top and put on top. I don't need another fetch land because I have millions of them with Excavator. I'm not sure if I need to be picking off these creatures. I can probably just be killing my opponent. I think they're dead anyway. Because now I can prime time for another Valakut and kill my opponent real good. I forgot about Ancient Tomb, so I could have had an extra bunch of triggers here if I kept my fetch land up. Alright, Primeval Titan. I'll get the other Valakut and a Field of the Dead. And that's exactly 12. That was a sweet game. Finally, Valakut activated. Alright, so Leyline of the Void, actually great. There's a lot of good stuff here. I'm not sure how deep we're gonna cut here. So maybe I don't want Leyline, maybe just Bajuka Bog. Like Leyline is against decks that you're like just dead if you don't have it, like Dredge or Reanimator. I'm not convinced that this deck isn't gonna turn 1 us. So I'm comfortable with just Bajuka Bog. And what can we cut? I think Loam is probably dangerous. Mox Diamond's also kind of dangerous. If I ever Chalice on 0, it's just real bad. And if one ever goes to my graveyard and they can weld my Chalice into a Mox Diamond, that's going to be really gross. Zenith is very important. Dryad was important in that game, but I'm not sure if I really need it, or need all 4, at least compared to the sideboard cards. Like, I'd certainly rather have Collector Roof in play than Dryad of the Elysian Grove. Tracker is a non-bow with Oof, because clues are artifacts. And Maze of Ith can probably come out of the deck. I'm bringing in another land that doesn't mess with the land count. Not that we couldn't afford to cut a few lands anyway. Alright, this is my plan. Alright, I'm going to keep this hand on the draw. We got to watch out for Blood Moon out of this opponent. That's certainly a thing they could have. But this hand has Chalice of the Void and Zenith for Oof, which should be kind of a 1-2 punch. If I can find a basic forest, I'll be pretty excited, because then Blood Moon doesn't really matter, because I can cast all my stuff still. But short of that, we even have the Bog in case they go for a quick Emery. I'll lead on this tapped land, because it doesn't really matter. As the forest is extra important, because it casts these spells. Like, it'll just be Chalice or Bust if they don't. Alright, there's Emery. Painter Servant, Ensnaring Bridge, Lion's Eye Diamond. So I could just bog them right now. Make sure this Painter never gets into play. Yeah, I'm kind of into that. So I could have Chaliced on 0 also. But I think on 1 is just going to be more mileage. I could Wasteland and Chalice on one this turn. They're hanging out an awful lot of non-basic lands here. Attack for one with Emery. Bummer. Coward. Yeah, I'm wasting the blue in case they have a counterspell of some variety. Intuition. Alright, please get 3 1-drops. They're probably going to get 3 Painter Servants. I guess with Emery they can get the whole sampler platter of options and just cast them all. Triple Blood Moon would suck. Though we are a basic forest away from getting Collector Roof in play. Okay, you can have... I guess Grindstone in your hand. So this will slow them down a little bit. An important note, Emery versus Goblin Welder. Goblin Welder just puts artifacts into play from the graveyard. Emery lets you cast them from the graveyard. So as long as this Chalice is around, we don't have to worry about getting Grindstoned. All right, Engineer, I believe, only affects your graveyard. Yes. All right. All right, Engineer can kill us. So we could actually lose next up as soon as next turn. All right, we just got to draw a green source. Just a fetch land or basic forest. Soul Guide Lantern. Weird. I think if we can Zenith for Oof right now, life is good. Shit. Okay. I guess I'll just continue to mess with their resources. Just gotta hope that's good enough. Yeah, the lack of green is starting to become a problem here. So Opal does not tap for mana right now. They could cast Painter Servant from the graveyard with Emery. Not sure what that even does. I guess they could also cast Grindstone into the Chalice, and then are they just welding Painter back? Okay, they're welding Painter back. Painting everything blue. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. All right, so now they just cast Grindstone into Chalice, and next turn they weld it back. And does that win? One. They weld. All right, so they next turn they float one off of Opal to weld it, and then they have 1, 2, recast. All right, so we're dead next turn if we don't find a green source. Green mana. Yes. Right on time. All right, let's hope that shuts this down. Next turn we have Abrupt Decay online. We're all in. If they can kill this thing, though it would be hard with Chalice in play to kill this thing. I guess a Braid but I think they end up 1 mana short of comboing me out if they have a Braid. Yeah, they effectively have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana this turn. Alright, if I can decay this engineer. Alright, I'm just gonna pass, see what they do in the end step, and I can decay after that point. Pretty sure I just want this engineer out of play. Okay, so Grindstone is in play. Let's kill this engineer. And hope that they don't have another good answer. So they would have to have a 2 mana answer for Chalice. I think Emery's gonna be the next to die. Though Emery barely matters with Oof in play. Raminac Excavator, you don't help me here. I could once upon a time looking for another green source. I think I like that. Alright, that is a green source. Someday. Like, I'm gonna need double green to make this game happen, and feeling pretty safe right now. Like, safe enough to pass the turn at least once. Like, they did literally nothing last turn. Looks like they're on that same plan this turn. Alright, so I could name Cleric or Naga with this, or I could just save it. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave up Abrupt Decay basically for the rest of the game, and then it'll become really hard to lose in that situation. Like getting Blood Mooned is a way we could lose from here. I could probably safely cast Sylvan Library this turn, but I'm just not going to. I'll do that next turn. I'll just take my sweet time, make sure I don't lose. Field of the Dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so now we're gonna start making zombies too. Alright, and the zombies will take over the game. I just have to not lose along the way. Oh, look at this blue and black zombie. That's hot. Alright, so there's the decay in my hand. There's a decay and a Crows and Grip still in my deck. For possible. I'm just planning for if they get Ensnaring Bridge into play, and if they try to combo me. Alright, they finally decided to cast their Lotus Petal. I was curious about that. Like, it's mostly free to just get it into play, even though it doesn't do anything. Ooh, prime time. Maybe I do want Chalice on 2. I'm gonna hold off a turn on prime time. I should probably just pay 8. Like, what am I holding back for? Or no, I just don't need to do that. I don't need this in my hand either. Yeah, so I can Chalice on 2, and I can still cast Abrupt Decay. Or I guess tapping Emery lets me attack with Collector Roof, which is pretty savage. But it's going to happen. I have Abrupt Decay. Like, if they have somehow a flash creature or something, or they can untap Embree at instant speed, I can decay the blocker before my oof gets eaten. So, but I don't think anything like that exists or would be in this deck. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, Chalice on 2. That'll stop any Abrades that might be coming my way. And I'm a mana short to cast Ramanep Excavator and leave up Abrupt Decay, and I'm just leaving up Decay forever. I hope you stuck around this far into match 5, despite watching me lose all the earlier matches, because as has been a theme in my videos lately, the best match is the last one. All right, so that league was actually a lot of fun. We lost to Bug Control, where they were able to cantrip their way into beating double Field of the Dead before we could close the nail or put the nail in the coffin. So that was pretty cool. It was a good showcase of the difference between blue and not blue when one player has cantrips and the other doesn't. Then we defeated a Delver deck. Then we lost to a Delver deck. Our opponent played pretty well and made a couple small mistakes along the way. We got shithoused by Show and Tell. Holy crap, that was not even close. And then we had an awesome game against Painter. So that was a lot of fun. I will be messing around with this deck a little more. It's not really my style, but I really should learn how to play Mox Diamond decks. That's like the one pillar of Legacy that I've just completely not explored as a player. And I should, because 4-color Loam is a good deck. But thanks for checking this out. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter at Bosch and Roll. We can talk about it. And I'll see you next time.